In this lecture we are going to talk about the idea of press zones, which is another signature of large traders that can be useful for identifying manipulations, and subsequent trade opportunities. The press zone is a signature like the organized behavior, meaning that large traders have no other choice but to leave these marks in price. This is good news for the traders who train themselves to see these subtle nuances in price as we are attempting to do in this course. A press zone is a specific configuration of candle tails that usually happen before a point of ignition in the chart. In other words, it's a specific configuration of candlestick tails that happen before the moment where price explodes its volatility. There is a good reason for that, and it has to do with the name of this market maker signature. The name press zone comes from the fact that large traders usually need to press the market until it tilts after a certain point beyond their control. That means that these large traders will pound the tails of certain candlesticks in order to create this effect. If they do that enough, unconscious market psychology will take care of the rest. What I mean by that is that large traders sometimes can try to press the market upwards, for example, so they will start pounding the lower tails of each candle until the majority of the market realizes that the market should go up. When that happens, there is usually a burst of volatility to the upside. The press zone is similar to a cliff in some sense. Imagine that there are retail traders at the edge of a cliff. What large traders do with a press zone is to nudge the retail traders off the cliff. Once they fall, they cannot stop until they hit the ground. That's roughly speaking what happens with these market signatures. Let's try to observe conceptually what these press zones look like in the chart. There are two guidelines that you must observe in a press zone. The first one is the occurrence of subsequent higher lows in the case of a press zone upwards, or the occurrence of lower highs in the case of a press zone downwards. The second guideline is the occurrence of an increase in volatility after the press zone. The precise moment that we see the volatility expanding is called the point of ignition for obvious reasons. As you might be wondering already, you can draw a zone out of this price signature. The limits of the zone should be placed in the point of ignition and where the candle tails started to get pounded. This zone can be considered as a place where we have high supply or demand. Essentially, this is a buy or sell zone that can be used later in the analysis. If the surrounding context helps, we can think about trading in these areas when price comes back to them. This is why we can often observe price reversing in previous points of ignition. Remember that this is just one element of a well-constructed context, and it's not a good idea trying to trade using just this idea, although that can work sometimes just like with any other isolated tool. As we discussed deeply in the Fractal Flow Strategy video course, the principle of contextual trading is at the top of the hierarchy of trading principles. It's the most important thing technically speaking.